Okay, so today we're going to be talking about calculating surface area. I've got three figures here, and we're going to go through the process to find the surface area, both lateral and total surface area. So in our first example, first thing you want to do is you want to identify the shape. What shape is this? It is a rectangular prism. So we're going to go ahead and label it. It is a rectangular prism. That means that its bases must be rectangles. Remember, we always get the name of the shape from the base figure. Rectangular prisms mean we need rectangular bases. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that we're going to use this side as our base. And if our right side is the base, that means our other base is over on the left. So once we have our two bases identified, it's easy to see where is the height of the prism. How tall is this prism? If you remember from our vocabulary, the height of the prism is the distance between the bases. So right here, going across from left to right, base to base, that number 45 is going to be our height. It would be just like as if we were standing up. You know, when you figure out how tall you are from your head to your toe, standing up vertically. Well, if you lay down in your bed from your head to your toe, you're still the same height. You're just laying down on your side now. And that's what's happening here in this prism. All right, the first thing we want to do is we want to draw our base shape. We want to come over here, and we're going to draw that rectangle base. By doing this, this will help set up any work we need to do as we're calculating and substituting. So after drawing the rectangular base, I need to find the dimensions so I can label them. Well, if I look here on this right side, I see dimensions. 25 by 15. So 25 by 15. So now we have that base shape ready in case we have to do any extra calculations. All right, now let's find the lateral surface area. So we need to go look on our formula chart. We need to go into the surface area section, find prism, and then look for the lateral formula. And that is S equals capital PH. Now, when we're solving these, we're still going to follow the same process. Formula, then we'll substitute, and then we'll solve. Okay, so we wrote the formula. Now we're ready to substitute. S equals capital P. Well, what does capital P represent? Capital P, that's right, it represents perimeter of the base. So it's going to be perimeter all the way around this base shape. So we're going to come off to the side and we're going to calculate perimeter. Remember, perimeter of any shape you can find by adding all the sides. So if the bottom side is 25, the top will be 25. If the right side is 15, the left will be 15. So I'm just going to add those up. 25 plus 25 plus 15 plus 15. All of those added up gives me a perimeter of 80 inches or centimeters. So capital P, the value of the perimeter is 80. So now I'm ready, I can substitute that in. 80 times the height. Now here's where we have to be careful. This is not a capital letter. If it was a capital letter, it would be perimeter, or excuse me, the height of the base. But it is lowercase. Remember, capital letters are talking about the base. Lowercase letters, they're just talking about the shape in general. So again, how tall was that prism? And we said that that was 45. Multiply those together. Multiply those together. You should get 3,600 centimeters squared. Remember, we are talking about area, so we are measuring in square units. So our lateral surface area is 3,600 centimeters. And remember, lateral surface area means we're only talking about the sides. Just all the sides, not including the bases. Okay, let's go on to total surface area. Find your formula on your formula chart. You can pause it if you need to. All right. Formula is capital PH plus 2 big B. Perimeter of the base times the height plus 2 times area of the base. So there's formula. Let's substitute now. S equals, well, I need a value for perimeter of the base. We already did that over here, so we're good on that one. 80 times the height, again, the height of my prism, 45 plus 2 times area of the base, big B. I need a value for big B. Well, again, if it means area of the base, that means I need to go and find area of this rectangle. So area of a rectangle, again, you can pause this and look at your formula chart. Area of a rectangle is base times height. Area equals 25 times 15, because remember, we're talking about just the measurements in this base shape. So our area of that rectangle is 375 centimeters. So now we can plug in 375. Multiply and add those together with your calculator. You can enter all of this in one string. 80 times 45 plus 2 times 375. So 4350 centimeters squared. So now we found lateral surface area and total surface area for this rectangular prism. Okay, let's go down to example number 2. What's the name of this shape? Yes, it is a triangular prism. So because it's a triangular prism, that means my bases must be these triangles. So here's a base in the back. Here's a base up front. Also, one thing that got left off of this picture, we need to know this measurement right here, which is also 10 inches. I don't know why it got left off the photocopy. Okay, so if we know that my two bases are in the front and the back, remember the distance between the bases is how tall or the height of the prism. So that's going to be right here. So that 12 inches, that's our height. All right, so let's draw our base shape here. We have a triangle. I know this inside, the height of just the triangle is 8 inches. This bottom measurement is 6 right here. The left side, they showed it right here, which is 10. The right side, they showed it right here, which is 10 as well. So now that we have our base shape drawn and labeled, we're ready to proceed to solving our problem. Lateral surface area, capital PH. Again, you have a formula chart. Use your formula chart. Take 2 seconds just to make sure you're using the right formula. So surface area equals, I need to substitute in a value for capital P. Again, what does capital P stand for? Think about it. Capital P is perimeter of the base. Perimeter is the distance around the outside. So I'm going to add the 6 plus 10 plus 10. So all of those, the perimeter is 26. So now I can plug in 26 for capital P. And we have to multiply that by the height of the prism. Again, over here between the bases, the height is 12. 26 times 12. Use your calculator, let it help you. You should get 312. And now we're talking about inches, so inches squared. All right, last one for this example, total surface area. Again, go to your formula chart, find the surface area section, look for the prism because it's a triangular prism, and go over to total. S equals capital PH plus 2 times big B. All right, S equals perimeter of the base. We already found that over here, so let's just plug in 26. Times the height. Again, our height is still 12. Plus 2 times big B. Well, what does big B stand for? You need to ask yourself that. Yes, big B stands for area of the base. So I need to come over to this base shape and I need to find area. You may need to look at your formula chart. Double check yourself. How do I find area of a triangle? 1/2 base times height. So now working with just my triangle dimensions, 1/2. My base is this 6 at the bottom. The height of my triangle is 8. Remember, the height and a base must always be perpendicular. So now multiplying 1/2 of 6 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. So my area is 24. So I can plug in 24 for big B, area of the base. 24. Now I can use my calculator and again I can plug all of this in one line. 26 times 12 plus 2 times 4. So pause the video, enter this into your calculator and get your final answer. All right, welcome back. Your final answer you should have gotten was 360 inches squared. 360 inches squared. All right, last example. Our last example, what is this shape called? It is a cylinder. And in a cylinder, what shape are the bases? Yes, they are circular. So we have a base on top and a base on bottom. Now that we've identified the bases, the distance between them, how far apart the bases are, that will be your height. So that's going to be right here. 4 feet will be your height. So let's draw our base shape. I know the base is a circle, so we're going to draw a circle. I'm going to label this dimension that they have labeled on it, 1.8. Now you want to make sure and ask yourself, is this a radius or diameter? It is a radius. My radius is 1.8. If it was a diameter, I would have to cut that in half to find my radius. But I don't need to do that. All right, now we need to do lateral surface area. Look at your formula chart. Find the formula for lateral surface area of a cylinder. It's different. Yes, S equals 2 pi r h. Formula, now we're ready to substitute. S equals 2 times pi times radius. What am I going to plug in for radius? 1.8. And then I need to plug in the height. We said over here was 4. Calculate that, pause the video until you have your answer, and then come back. All right, your surface area, we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth. So 45.24, and it's feet squared. That would round 45.24 feet squared. All right, now let's do total surface area. Its formula is a little bit bigger. S equals, find it on your formula chart, 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. All right, we're ready to substitute in. S equals 2 times pi times my radius, we already said was 1.8, times my height, which is 4, plus, now we're ready to do the backside, 2 times pi, and then we still have to multiply that by radius squared, so 1.8 squared. 1.8 squared. That's a 2 up there. Calculate that. Pause the video until you have your answer. Round it to the nearest hundredth. All right, welcome back. Surface area is 60, oops, not 60. Should be 65. 65.60 feet squared. 65.60 feet squared. So now in our notes we have an example of how to find lateral and total surface area for both rectangular prisms, triangular prisms, and cylinders. You can fold your notes over, fold it up till you get to the line right here, and then you can crease it. And it makes a nice cover page where you have your title, and you also have the formulas on there. And you can glue this right into your notebook.